Wassail Beautiful People. So, I've been absent for a few days because the Cosmos said I had to be. Where I was staying, the internet vanished, so I couldn't even get online. And then it came on the morning of my dad's first birthday since he died. And I just phoned an airport transfer and got in a car and moved because I needed to move. I couldn't, I was dealing with it quite patiently, but once there was no connection at all and I was missing Robin Ream's lives and things like that, it was beginning to stress me. And I'm trying not to stress because that's part of the energy that we're about to start dealing with, nerves. Chiron is about to go retrograde on the 16th, and he's going to be retrograde until the 20th of December. And so it's all about the nervous system and wounds, deep ancient wounds, and they're going to come up. And we need to remember that Pluto's retrograde, Saturn's retrograde, Jupiter's retrograde, Neptune's retrograde. That's all the big outside planets, and Chiron's always just around the edge of Neptune. So we're just getting to that point where new energies, nerves are jangling, and I see this energy. I feel there's a very profound energy. There's a building works near here, a lot of noise, there may be drills. But, there's also a clock, the loudest clock you've ever heard in the world, and it's enforcing 12 frequency upon me. But it's all just part of a test. You have to go through these energies and try and not respond. So let's do the bell, which is the E flat, and then I'm going to sing a B flat for the nerves. So here's Neptune's bell. There was a sense of impending drive, frequency movement, an enlargement, and a kind of a knocking on the skull to just emphasize something. So let's have a look at the B flat. So this is the B flat of Chiron. You see, I call on the nerves, and the first noise is something that gets on your nerves. It'll go. I'm just being patient with everything because I'm assuming here I can do my upload speeds. What we do is we come back to it. Let's start with the cards. I'm going to have another go with the new rune cards that we're building. Even though I don't know how to read them all, I will intue the messages of the energies that I haven't done. I'm here because Olga lives here, and Olga is the artist, and this is one of Olga's pieces, and all of the dark shapes are actually pieces of bark, so it's very much like a figure made from the energy of the Yggdrasil tree. It's very beautiful. But Olga is a specialist in early Peruvian cultures, and she's been looking at the images of the runes themselves and talking about how she's noticed a correlation between them and some of the early pre-Incan civilizations in Peru, how they used them in their wonderful embroideries and fabric making and weaving to represent cycles of the agricultural year. So there's these really are ancient fractals that are not just sort of just runes. They're energies, universal frequencies that crop up all over the world, which is exciting. So let's see if we can get that B flat in before the drill goes off again. Was very rich, apart from Thor's hammer at the end. So let's just see what is Chiron retrograde. What's the energy, what's the overall riding theme of this Chiron retrograde? What's the overall riding theme of this Chiron retrograde? What's the theme? Okay, so we have, this is Jera, but this is a different form of Jera, not the traditional one of the two seas facing each other, and it's to do with a harvest. It's time to harvest something, but there's a sense from the symbol that there's something almost clamped, stuck, rigid, and it's this need to open. Here goes the bells. I feel like I've moved into the Swiss Alps. This is the symbol of ice. The single line, the single stroke is our physical and conscious presence in the world. And this is this idea that something is being divided to open. We need to open something within our hearts. There's some kind of energy that Chiron is calling from us that needs to be cleansed. Spine and nervous system. I've not heard those bells before. It usually just goes ding dong, and then this must be time for a church service. It's very musical. It's like there's a battle going on between Catholicism and Norse mythology out there with Thor's hammer. Sounds like Thor 1. So we have one card on the floor. This is the normal bells. What are you opening within your heart to release in this retrograde? Ace of Cups, love. I'm letting it ring because it's 12 o'clock. It didn't ring the full 12. I'm just putting my bell back in there. It's my space. So what are we opening? Look, that's wonderful actually. Look, it's the actual echoing shape. When you open these two symbols, look, the handles on the sides of the cup, the energy is flowing between. Open your heart to new experiences, to brand new experiences in this Chiron retrograde. Let's take another one. What else, Chiron? What else, Chiron? Right, that's thrown a few. Oh, it's thrown two. Ooh, it's thrown leche. This is leech. This is like lagour. It's an emotional bleed. We're being asked to bleed our emotions. It's almost like Chiron is coming towards us as some kind of cosmic leech, and it's going to sort of get onto us and suck and pull and make this energy, it's going to force this energy out of us. And then we have Gifu, Gipt, Gypt. It depends again how you say the G's, because G's are sometimes G for gift and sometimes they're J for German. So this is about bringing yourself into alignment. It's also about a sense of coming together with people. So let's throw a tool Thoth. Yeah, that's really interesting. It's very swift with these energy messages. Here we have the Emperor and the Six of Cups. It's like returning. It's returning to each other, to the world, to the community. So I would say that this is the emotional bleed, all in everybody, in the community, in the world around us, this energy of a heart awakening. And this is the Emperor is representing a community, an empire, but it's an empire that's got shadows and light within it, because behind him he has two, a black and a white Aries goat, well, a dark red and a white, but the idea of the extremes. He holds an orb. There's a punctuation mark on the top of his orb, which is like a Maltese cross. And at the moment, there is that symbol in here. It's a punctuation mark that was used in the early runes. But when I've worked on the cards and looked at the energy of that punctuation symbol, it's about a willfulness, a resistance, a desire to sort of, it's like when you're a teenager and you deliberately go against parental control because you're trying to find yourself in a world that asks for your conformity as a child. So there's something of that energy flowing through. There's an energy of great softness, but there's also an energy down here on the shield, the protection, is two eagles facing each other, two phoenix style eagles. It's like the rising of a renewedness, but also of finding new people. He's also wearing bees all over him. So there's an interdimensionality taking place in the shift, because we've got 6 planets, so 5 will now be in retrograde. The 6th one will be Ceres, who's going around the 21st or the 24th. Need to check that. Of July. And then Gaia, Uranus, will go on the 20th of August. And that will be followed by Mercury again on the 27th of September. So that will make 8 planets. 8 planets retrograde is just big energy of shift and change. But it is about this. You see, I'm getting the energy of a re-entanglement of the community, of us being brought back together in new ways. But there is a sense of the gardener having pruned old frequencies. I'm being shown scissors coming in. Almost the leech is like the scissors. The leech is this energy, this cosmic, nervous energy that will break open the energy in our heart to change a kind of a bliss. It's so noisy here. So, what I thought we would do, I'm going to just, because the Chiron wound, as you know from the Wounds of Chiron video that I did in Cascade, they're very deep energies and they're very traumatic energies. They're primal wounds. and it feels like they're all about to be opened. I'm really not sensing that it's something awful and dramatic. But so I'm gonna have a go at just drawing a card from each of these decks and run through the signs. So they'll just be brief, but I think it's about, and I can't remember what each wound meant, but I want to know what the energies of where you're starting and where you're journeying with the frequency you're dealing with. This could be the healing of the wound and what energy is coming in to help you to understand it. I don't know until we open. But let's begin with, you see, I want to say Aries because we've just had the Aries Emperor. Okay, they're saying start with Aries. So, will you please explain the retrograde Chiron energy for Aries, please? Aries. It's gone very tight-lipped, Aries. Aries. It's really funny. It's like they're saying that's part of the energy, is to be brave to speak, to know what you want to say. Do you know, as I was going to say that, I could see the seer in my head, and here it is. The seer, it's a divine energy. It's like there's a sense in this card of karma. I'm going to put the Odin card down with it because I really need to read the two together. The seer is to see. But there's something about, you need to see what you've never seen before, some huge karmic block. So what's the energy to move past the seer? It's not just about speaking up. What's the energy movement for Aries? What's the energy movement for Aries? Destiny. So it's Frigg. So Aries, you're dealing with the idea of knowing your destiny. Oh, so hugging and thugging, as I call them, Odin's crows. She wears one on her head. They say in many Scandinavian and Norse mythologies, never make a decision unless spirit is with you. And to seer something is to know your direction. So they're talking about how you have to understand. There's a kind of, they're showing me images of rocks falling, of an intellectually emotional landslide. There's a really big epiphanal energy coming. So they want to, they're saying to me, thread your needle. Thread your needle. So what does that mean? To thread your needle is to understand the wound, how the wound is blocking your future, but how to create the steps in the now. How to be in the now, connected to both the past and the future. You cannot see the truth of the future until it's in your past, but you have to begin to understand how to seer your own destiny. So that's the little energy for Aries. When I say Aries, it could be your sun there, your moon there. Just look at Aries and see what you have there. But also find out where your Chiron is and look at that energy as well. So look in your house, Aries. What do you have in Aries? I only have Saturn. So I have to look at the energies of what restricts me is understanding that. That would be my Saturn energy, Saturn's retrograde. So Taurus. Let's go to Taurus. What does Taurus need to know? I'll turn the cards up the other way, or upside down. What does Taurus need to know from Chiron? What is Chiron bringing to Taurus? Oh, the ghost dance. 22. It's a healing of ancestral frequencies. It's very much Niflheimr. The fog will clear from Niflheimr. Okay, so what's the Odin energy? What's the Odin energy? That one hasn't come out, but I just need to look at it. It's the sun. There's a promise of the light coming to you. There we go. Okay, so what's coming? Clarity, the truth, the ghost dance of Gethin. The ghost dance is old ancestral frequencies stuck within you. So part of the energy is to understand how to retreat, not you going into retreat, but how to step forwards and allow the energies of ancestor to retreat. Ancestors are with you. I'm really sensing ancestors. I'm sensing females though because of Geffen. It's almost like, I want to say maiden aunt, but I really hate that term. But there's a real sense of, it is a healing of your feminine energies within you, Taurus. It's about, because they stand on fixed stone, fixed earth. And it's almost, I'm getting the sense of this ghost dance coming backwards and almost running into the energy of the Valkyrie. That's interesting. So the energy, Taurus, is to let go of these old fears. I'm getting the sense that this will become like a dreaming nightmare network dentistry, Taurus, and the Valkyrie are coming to release the energy. When I did the Mara video, they said there's a lot more ghosts coming out now because the earth frequency is allowing them out. Fixed earth, Taurus, this is your moment to actually change things that you find very difficult to change. This is your period. You've got till the 20th of December. So Chiron's frequency is to maybe meditate with the Valkyrie, call the Valkyrie. The Valkyrie decide the fates of the dead. They're coming to collect the ghosts of the past. Okay, the drill needs to stop. So Gemini. It's like you're already jangling with nerves, Gemini. What's Chiron? I'm not taking that one, I haven't asked a question. Let me rifle the cards and hopefully the drill will stop. Thunder and Rainbow. We've got the bell and the drill now. It feels like your world is becoming very chaotic around you. The video started to shake. I don't know what that's about. Anyway, we'll go on. Gemini. Gemini, Gemini, Gemini. I feel like more than anything, you're absolutely on edge. I know it's the drill doing it at the moment, but that's spirit bringing in an energy that you need to understand. Mystical Shaman. Mystical Shaman. Odin. What do they need to do with this Chiron energy? What do they need to do with this Chiron energy? Nidalvillir. Right, so what is yours? The Mystical Shaman is talking to me about how you need to solidify your polarities. You need to tune into the fact that because of the very nature, we've had this message before, but because you're seen as the twins, you're allowing two different versions of you to exist. Many in some cases, but this mystical shaman is sucking in the ghost of somebody they're not. And it's the extremity of your energy frequency. You need to pull in and make yourself one. It's almost like sucking your shadow self and go deep down. This is the card of Niedervellir, but I call it Svartalhamir. It's the realm at the roots of the Yggdrasil tree, the shadows that create a shaman. So I'm getting the sense that your wound that Chiron is trying to get up is bravery. You need to apply a much braver tactic towards this. The dark elves, as they're called, are from another space before time, before the physical world, and their energies come in and they create through magic and through smelting and controlling and moving and alchemy. They're preparing for you a new energy mantle, a new frequency that is you in the new energies that are coming through this big shift. So I often say about how I have Odin of the White Raven, and that's an energy frequency of Odin as a healer. And when I do my sound healing, I tune into that energy, and it's an energy mantle I'm gifted to wear. You're being gifted with a new energy mantle, but this energy mantle feels, I don't want to say permanent, but it feels like it's a new you. It's an energy that's coming in that's the new version of you, without all the sort of polarity that plays into your mind and has you not ever knowing which version you. It's almost like I'm sensing a calming of your normal nervousness, Gemini. So let's move on to Cancer. Somehow these cards have gone upside down again. So Taurus and Cancer have picked up the deck upside down somehow. I'm not sure how I keep putting it down that way. There's your card, Cancer. Ooh, wind. Change. I want to say, they're saying move home, but what they mean, what they mean by move home is you've got to accept a change in your soul. That's interesting. So what do they do with the wind? What do they do with the wind? Okay, you've got Thurus, you've got the portal. Thorn as well, I want to say. You've got to blow through the new energy that's opening. Spirit of air, air spirit is opening something completely new for you. I kind of feel like you need to stop looking back. There's an energy of the danger of nostalgia. There's a sense, there's a a bird looking backwards. Spirit in the wind is moving forwards. There's always a great sense of autumn about this card, but there's also a sense of not carelessness, but carefree. To be more carefree about the direction you're coming to. It's telling me over your life you've built the most amazing, sacred, sacral home within yourself and within spaces that you would like to live within a family situation. And you have to now allow yourself to enter a new frequency, to pass through this giant portal that's opening. And they are saying that this is a massive energetic shift, and it's almost, you've got to allow yourself to flow with the winds of change, and you must release nostalgia. Nostalgia will calcify you. Nostalgia will leave your future portal, the doorway into the future, completely covered in thorns, because this is TH, the thorn. This is that energy of the frequency of the future, and if you keep being nostalgic, it's going to cover so that no energy can actually reach you. You've almost got to spring clean your sacral. Okay, so that's Cancer. Now let's look at Leo. So Leo. Let's have a look at Leo. Witness. Okay, I'm immediately being told, Leo, it's like a lion before it goes in for the kill. It's like, don't jump the gun. I want to say that your soul is parched. I'm being told to say that your love of the sun, your love of the light, your love of all things that you know in your heart to be good and true is only half of your story. So this is like, the witness is like you're sitting in a tree house and you're at the top of the tree house and you've got everything you need in there, but your soul is parched and you can't reach the water unless you go down to ground level and cross the savannah and go towards the river and refill your water. You've almost run out of comfortable emotions in your treehouse, and there's an energy, you feel hunted. You feel that if you step down into the savannah, the tall grasses are hiding all kinds of demons, because the energy you have behind you is hell. And hell is the young girl, and actually it was Robin Ream's last live, which I'm transcribing at the moment, and I haven't watched it, so what I say now might not correspond with what they've come up with for hell. Hell was one of Loki's 3 children that brings about Ragnarok. There's something about your fear to embrace the energy of huge change. You would rather sit in your treehouse with your soul becoming ever more parched than to dare to go down and ask hell if you can borrow a cup of sugar or a jug of water. And hell is not something to be frightened of. She's got more than just water for you. She's got water that's teeming with biome and life and nutrients, Leo. She's got the most splendid gift for you, but you've got to be brave enough to go down to the darkness of hell's realm and just knock on the door and ask for some help. It's almost like there's an energy within you that seeks help, but is fearful of the help you will receive, because it might involve having to step out of your love and light treehouse that you're sitting in. So, Virgo. Virgo. Let's see. Oh, look at you, Virgo. Interestingly, the moon's just been in Virgo the last few days, from the 13th on my dad's birthday. It was causing me and lots of people I spoke to proper tummy problems. So, you've got Jaguar. So, you've got this hugely protective spirit. I'm being drawn to Plutonian energy in this card. Pluto and the moon. Pluto and the moon. Pluto is at 26, 27 degrees in Capricorn. The moon's just about to go into Libra, or is in Libra. So there's something there's something coming towards you within the next, Libra, Scorpio, within the next 9 days. Within the next 9 days. And it's something out of the blue that you can't plan for. A little bit like a mini tower moment, but it's not quite a tower moment. What I mean is, it's something karmic that the cosmos is bringing in, and you're gonna not want to let go. It's like spirit is gonna open something up. You see, now that's interesting. They're talking to me about how spirit is coming to take something from you, and it's something very precious that is a possession or something, and it will feel frightening, but it's actually to get you into the energy of the new frequencies coming. You've really got to clear out your closet, because what's coming in Virgo season, in your birthday season, is the most profound karmic cycle, as Pluto, as Uranus, Gaia, Mercury, as the final planets form this big energy on the 20th of August and then the 27th of September. But Pluto will go prograde on the 6th of October. So you've got to clean out your closet. It's a little bit like, before I went on my spiritual journey and left the UK, I had sold my house. That was a bit of a tower moment. It wasn't something I wanted to do, but work was taken away from me. And, you know, strong, difficult energies came in. And then the only thing I owned in my life was the studio I was renting as a space to work from, which was all new, and my car, my lovely little Beetle car that the roof came from. And I took it in for an MOT and it failed. And do you know what? I just said to the universe, you know what? If you want my car, if you want to take away the one thing now that I own, just have it. I'm not going to fight spirit anymore. I'm just going to embrace all of the energies that you bring towards me that scare me, that upset me, and I'm just going to go with it. So they're reminding me, Chiron's thing for you is a test of your nerves of steel. They're showing me everything in an order, everything lined up, and spirit wants to take that piece there, that piece that's really in, that's all been ordered and lined up, and it's almost work. It's gonna kind of stress you out, but that's the test. Chiron is testing you, because when we get into your birthday season, there's gonna be masses of energies coming up. So Libra, what is Chiron bringing towards Libra? What is Chiron bringing towards Libra? I don't want that, but it is about shedding a skin. It was snake. So, Libra, that's what I wanted. I wanted a card to fall. Libra, what do you have? You have the Tree of Life. Yggdrasil. So, walking away from 12 frequency. And that's why that bell went off at that moment, because that's the current representation of 12 frequency trying to remind me that it's always present at the moment, because we're in a 12 frequency year. So Libra, what are you doing with this Tree of Life energy? What are you doing with this Tree of Life energy? There's your card. Oh, it's making my nose itch, Libra. So, Ran. Ran lives at the bottom of the seabed. And usually Ran is all about how she can trap sailors and people and lure them to their death. But this is a card about life. It's like for you, the wound is becoming unstuck. The tree of life is beginning to walk forwards. You're getting some kind of emotional freedom coming in to regenerate you. And it is interesting. I know we just talked about in Virgo how their birthday season is important, and that hasn't been true of other signs that I've been looking at, but this is Libra season will be very significant because it's during Libra season from the 6th of October that we will be getting all of the planets, the big three, Pluto, Saturn and Jupiter, will start to go prograde again. So this karmic energy that we're dealing with at the moment will allow you to step forward. But I'm being told to say something about you need some kind of, oh, that's interesting. I was going to say you need some kind of protection, but they're saying to me you wear some kind of necklace and you need to take it off. There's something just currently like an energy that you're used to holding around you, Libra, that's stopping your flow, and they would like you to remove that protective frequency because it's entangling you. It's a treasure. It's some piece of jewelry, something that's your favorite piece of jewelry. I'm not saying get rid of it. That's not what they're saying. They're saying remove it until after the Libra season. There's something about you needing to step forwards in your own frequency without the assistance of ethereal energies. Okay, so that's Libra. Let's move that up so I've got a bit more space to keep track. Scorpio. So, Chiron. What have we got for Scorpio? That was really lovely. That floated up and landed, and it's the beauty way. It's the completion of a transformation of your soul. So there's something, there's the energy's really changed here. The energy's become very gentle, like a tiny sakura cherry blossom, just beginning to open. There's a really lovely freshness, Scorpio, to this energy. What's the journey though, please? What's the journey forwards? What's the journey forwards? What's the journey forwards? There we go. Okay, you've got hugging and munning, hugging and thugging. So, this is the opening of a new picture, the opening of a new understanding, the opening of a new code of life, of zeal, it's like you are connected to Pluto. There's something because of Pluto being part of your rulership. The Plutonian energy is allowing you to understand the process of death and rebirth faster and sooner than many other people. It's like you're going to be delivered of a clarity, of an understanding, of a, you see they're putting the word prophecy in my head, of a kind of spiritual prophecy that's due others. There's, I'm being drawn to the Ethel, or Adal, or Athala image on this card, being intermingled with sort of two yin energies. So there's two new ideas within your head, and somehow you're drawing those two frequencies together, folding the ideas together, and they're forming the new rune of spiritual rebirth, of allowing an energy to flow from within you. I want to say it's very transformative. I want to say they're showing me the dragonfly on the beauty way, and they're talking about return. We all know a dragonfly becomes a dragonfly from the nymph stage, but they're pointing to the healing, a sort of a sexual healing, of a way in which you're going to perceive this notion forwards. There's something about understanding that there's still a distortion going on around sexual politics at the moment, with many countries kind of promoting the idea of lots of sort of, you know, just fun sexual behavior. And there's there's an implication that it's always Scorpio that leads the way. But there's something, as I said earlier, there's something new blossoming, you know, in a kind of, in that tantric way of understanding that there's something far greater than the old scorpionic rutting. It's like you're going to understand the graceful beauty that the nymph becomes when it takes flight in true Aries pop. I want to say that it's like an energy of healing people. Look, it is a sexual healing in many ways, but it's not about physical sex. It's about an energy of moving frequency within the souls of people in a way that previously most people wouldn't understand. So, that's yours, Scorpio. Now, Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Eagle. There's something spiritual that's muddled, and you're going to get a sort of a sense of how to clear this frequency. Yeah, there's something muddied. There's something, we've got Hagal. So, there's something about you've got to calm your fires. I feel that the energy of Chiron is drawing a rage within you. And they're saying that it's part of, it's to do with when, it's to do with the end of the retrograde. As Chiron goes through, it'll be in when the fires of the sun are in Sagittarius, 20th. It's that last moment. It's like you're being asked to control fire, impatience. I want to it's like they're showing me that your passion within inside you is as hot as magma, and you need to connect. Well, you need to connect your air energy to it. You need to look in your zodiac for where your air is, but you need to work out which air you bring in, because air very often makes a fire burn more. So it's asking you to look at your passions as opposed to your aggressions. You need to calm with the rain, with the hail. You need to, it's almost like you need to develop some kind of way of doing psychic surgery on yourself to undo the furies within you, and it's plural. You need to freeze them and cut them back. You need to then look at the things that are your passions, that are the true energy inside your furies, inside your frustrations, and you need to work out how to soothe those with air energy, to clean them up, to blow them dry. And I know that sounds weird, because it's almost like blowing the crust off the top of the magma so that the true passion can flow underneath. You don't need all of that dark sootiness. you need to actually, there's something about, you have a Machiavellian shadow that's not true, that's sitting over the surface, and it needs to be peeled away so that we can see your true passions. So, Capricorn. What's Capricorn? What's Capricorn? What's Capricorn? What's Capricorn? What's Capricorn? That was a wonderful cycle. Sweat Lodge. Sweat Lodge. I'm really being drawn to ancient Aztec images. Oh, that's so bizarre. I'm being shown... It's like you... It's like you're the archer. It's like you are Sagittarius. It's like you are the season at which the arrow needs to be shot. So, that's not making sense, I'll be honest. So, what's Capricorn doing? You've got two. You're the first ones to mess with me. You've got Yggdrasil and Muspelheim here with Sutra. There's a clarity, a fiery clarity. And that's what I was seeing there. But it was about in the shadows. In your shadows, at the root of the Yggdrasil tree, is a distortion of your truth. And you need to... It's like you're the fire blacksmith. Do you know, you go down, when a blacksmith hammers and hammers and hammers at something in Svartalfheimr, where they make all the magical gifts, there is a magical gift. There is something, they're showing me this now, as the entrance to a light, a new frequency of Elfheimr at the very top. There's a, and that's it, it's like this is up here. At the top of this Yggdrasil tree is this Elfheimr light, and there is a dark elf standing inside saying, your gift that we've been making with you, this tortured energy that you've been working on, this thing that you've been heating and heating and heating, this sword, this clarity, I'm seeing distorted and warped. It looked like the bow, but they're showing me it now as something like a cudgel that you've been beating yourself up with. And they're saying you have to go down into those shadows, which is saying you love. You have no fear of the shadows. That's it's an energy frequency that you love. But you need to not go down this first side. Oh, look, and there's an X and an arrow, as if to say, don't go down here. The coil is in the center, and that is where the Norns are with the well of knowledge. And that's where you need to go. You need to go down to collect the water to pour over the new smelted object that this dark elf is waiting to give you as a gift in Elfheimr. It's a really beautiful energy, but it's not. So they're saying it's almost like you love your shadows too much. It's time now to stop playing with them. It's almost they're showing me like a yo-yo, and you just need to cut the yo-yo off because you don't need it anymore. You need to just step away from that. Pour the water on, soothe the heat, and allow something new to grow. So that's Capricorn. Aquarius. What's going on for Aquarius? What's going on for Aquarius? Ooh. You need to let go of something. Oh, fixedness, they're shouting at me. You've got the sacrifice. There's a transformation that's due you. 44. It's an ancestral transformation. It's something to do with the space now between the two Aquarian full moons, which is coming on the 24th of July and then there's another one in August. There's a very significant frequency going on because those 2 full moons during this big retrograde season, both of them are in your sign, and that's in the stellium tear. So what does, I have to finish shuffling. I know we've got one card down, but they might know they didn't. I was just giving you okay, look. You have Logir. Now Logir was the one that, if you go back to the beginning of the video where we had the emotional bleed, you have to bleed. More than anyone, you have to let this energy out. You have to bathe yourself in change. She doesn't want to know about this change. She's like, look, I spent my life being quirky. I'm just kind of rolling around in a magenta dress with my ginger hair. And yet, in the hand is the transformed energy. You've got to become something new. You've got to take flight in a new way. I feel like you know this. I feel like you're holding up your life in your palm. You know what you need to do, but you're just not willing to let go of the comfortable bubble that you've created for yourself. But the moon's going to force it upon you. You see, look, I want to show you this like this, because the arm and the logir are forming the same kind of symbol, but they're forming it in a kind of reverse, in a mirror. Turn the world upside down, change your own reflection. And it's ancestral. It's almost like this quirkiness that's associated with you, this kind of age of Aquarius energy, is a distortion of your truth. It's not allowing your full consciousness. It's kind of molded itself around you, very much like the leech. It's like the leech is really trying to pull you apart. So you that energy that we had at the very beginning, these 2 parts of you need to be separated. You need to make the space between what you were and what you should be in between. So Aquarius, face some of the darknesses that you have. I'm just looking because they're trying to show me something else and I can't see it. It's another rune forming, and between the arms and the crook, it's almost like you need to purify and burnish yourself with Querth frequency. And Querth is the symbol that Reem did a little while back. I'll try and remember to put a link in. You need to look at that video. It's like you need to go into your soul and burnish out the old ancestral frequencies so that you can change. You're quite happy with them because you think it's your quirky little energy, but it's time to change. It's really time to transform, Aquarius. And now, Pisces, you're always very patient. I didn't want to start that way, but they made me. So, Pisces. There's something feeling very smooth, very clear, much clarity in the energy there. The cards, oh look, and then it had a little jump and it went back in. It's like, now I can sort this. You feel very much at ease. It's because there's fire. I'm connecting you with Mars. What is it then? What is this, please, Pisces? What's this fire? That's the first. Oh, we've got 2. And it's the first one that's gone quite a long way away. Oh, you see, that's so interesting. Baldur and Odin. So, Pisces. Pisces, what are we getting here? there's the sense of the fire is you need to look at your own light. I'm seeing a head going inside the light, inside to see something. It's almost, it's like you've had something uncomfortable, glands under the arms, something, like it feeling thorny, and needing to sort of just stop outside fears from coming in. The energy I get from Odin and Baldur is a really fascinating character. He's beloved of everybody. It's like saying, Pisces, you are meant to be beloved of everybody, and yet you feel misunderstood. And so you don't like to shine your light to the world, you shine your light internally. Odin sees Loki's 3 children in a dream as bringing him around the end of the god's reign of Ragnarok, and so he tries to hide them away and stop that happening. He builds walls around his castle, he builds boundaries, and being told that that's you, the energy, Pisces, of building barriers around you to keep you safe, and it's not your truth. Baldur is protected because Frigg gives Baldur protection. She asks every living thing not to hurt him, and that includes rocks. So if you throw a rock at him, the rock will miss Baldur, so he can't be harmed. And yet there's an energy within the gods of wanting to harm him, like an energy of jealousy. And eventually he's killed accidentally by Hod, his blind brother, who's tricked by Loki, and Loki is a giant. Odin and his 2 brothers, when they made the world, killed the biggest of all the giants, and most of the other giants drowned in his blood. So there's always a fear of things older and bigger than himself that keeps you vulnerable. And yet when this mistletoe dart is fired, when Loki says to Hod, go on, shoot it now, it's almost, I'm being drawn to his loss of one eye, and Hod's loss of 2 eyes, and the loss of innocence somehow is, I'm being told, the loss of practicality is being put in my head. But so Baldur dies and the whole world is sad, and they send a messenger down to hell because he didn't die in battle. He doesn't get to go to Valhalla where he could decide his fate. He doesn't get to go to the folk heaven from the Vanaheimir side, and so he's in hell because he had an unheroic death. And when asked, hell says, I'm not giving him back. He's the best thing to ever come down here because he is the light, he is the kindness, he is the joy of all humanity. And it's kind of an energy that's within you to be the joy of all humanity. But hell protects him until Odin's world is removed and we come to Ragnarok. And once the world and all the people and all the darknesses have been destroyed, the light is returned. You need to return your light to the world now. You're part of a kind of frequency of improving the world without a need for Ragnarok. So Pisces, that's yours. So how long's that, everybody? Oh, it's an hour. So hopefully that will upload. So I'm just going to ask for a little end message, because I like to do this, because then people that only watch their part of the message with a timestamp miss out on something. Naughty. So what would you like to add, Chiron, at the very end? What would you like to say to each of us at the very end to do with your frequency? And I have put the cards back that came out earlier because it might be that Chiron wants to bring that message. The wounded healer, Chiron, in Aries. Chiron, 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 what would you like to say? There we go. It's so funny. It's Isa. Who had a Isa? Who had Isa? I need to find it. 1, 2, 3. So Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. Oh, it was Virgo. We're returning to the beginning, is what I'm being told. We're returning to the beginning. They're saying, just say that, we're returning to the beginning. In Virgo season, we will all be returning to the beginning. It's almost saying you all need to look at the Virgo reading, because everybody, is having something taken from them so that they can grow in Virgo season. There's a whole series of cards that have come out now. So, it's like ether, strife. It's an inner turmoil. Everybody's going to have an inner turmoil, a nerve jangling energy. But it's sent by the cosmos. It's a healing energy. It's to cut something away. And there is a sense of it being something physical, of it being something, a possession or an ownership of something, but it's actually to cut away something to change your actual personality, to change your passions, to bring the Ace of Fire, to bring that flame frequency back in. This couldn't be more comical in a way. It's a whole series of eyes. It's the same runic symbol, but here we're adding fire to the ice to create something new. It's a wonderful new energy. And it's about, not the piercing of a heart, but it's going back to that original leche. The emotional bleed has to happen. You cannot avoid the emotional bleed. And then it's a co-creation with spirit. You have to let go of something to create this new frequency. There's so much celebration in the energy of this card. You pull out this emotional bleed, and once all of that has drained from your heart, inside your heart is a cosmic egg wrapped in a wonderful energy of snake. It's like this, they're showing me the snake as a snake of ice that will melt away when you complete your emotional bleed and let your passions rise back up. So that's beautiful. They're saying you might need to all go back and look at Gemini. I can't remember what Gemini had. Okay, Gemini is about the gift. You all need to go back and look at Gemini. Anyway, that's this sort of reading about Chiron Retrograde. Hopefully this is a quick upload. I can get on with transcribing all the rune messages, watching all the rune messages. I haven't even been able to catch up on all the gorgeous videos you've all been sending in. So thank you for that. I'm working with Olga on how she creates the actual strokes up, down, across, because honestly, the way Olga thinks about symbols is so incredibly beautiful and magical. She sees an energetic frequency, and you're going to love it. So, Chiron is a coming. Wassail.